Hi, I'm Susan LeBlanc, and this is Conversations with the Goodman School of Business. And my guest today is Professor Samir Trabelsi. Welcome, Samir.
Thank you for your invitation.
Thank you. You are one of our professors in the accounting department, but we're here to talk about a very special award that you won at the June convocation this past year, and that's the Excellence in Teaching Award. It must have been a very special day for you.
Yes, indeed. It was an excellent day, and it was a memorable day because what it meant to me is dedication to student success, giving hope and opportunity to our student, graduate and undergraduate, pays off.
Right.
In fact, I did invite my wife and my son and two of my doctoral students to come and attend because that's showcased that hard work and dedication imply amazing outcome, success, and celebration.
Yeah. It's a very special, and you got to address the convocation. You
Yeah.
get to speak to the whole graduating class.
Yes.
And again, a very special moment. And I know it was even actually covered on Tunisian television, was it not?
Yes, it
Yeah.
was covered in. I was invited in Tunisia by two radio stations to talk about it and to talk about the Goodman School of Business
Yeah.
and how our school promote excellence in teaching and in research.
Yeah. And so let's talk a little bit about maybe your teaching philosophy, because I know you have some very solid, obviously good, a solid teaching philosophy that led to your getting this award. So what is it that you like to see?
I strongly believe in training graduate and undergraduate students that are globally qualified. So to do that, I pursue excellence in teaching by creating a roadmap. So for each class I'll be teaching, students, they know how we're going to go from each part to the other part of the class. Not only that, I also set higher expectation for student, and I give always rigorous and up-to-date. In fact, part of my teaching philosophy, I start always the class with the business news article. I want my student to feel the class, to see it with their both eyes, that what we are doing is not in the moon. And that's why I joke with my student, I tell them we're doing earth teaching and no moon teaching,
Right.
So, because we are very lucky, accounting and corporate governance is a real world issue, So we don't have problem in connecting our class material to the real world.
Right. And you've mentioned corporate governance, which is a nice little segue because that's your area of expertise. That's what you do your research in. So maybe talk a little bit about your research into corporate governance.
Yeah, recent financial crisis and the Arab Spring did show that with poor governance, firms are in trouble, and even country are in trouble. So in one of my research, I show that the principle based of corporate governance has no economic impact. It's the rule-based, the United States rule-based. When company are told what to do and that we set the standard, then investor price it. In contrast, the principle-based approach, the Canadian principle-based, leave a lot of room for company to not comply with the guideline. I also have another research where we looked at the likelihood of a company bribing official to secure government contract.
Oh dear, okay.
And this has an impact with what happened in my country back home, Tunisia, where there is a chronic problem of governance. And I think now back home they're working very hardly to improve the governance practice of both public and state-owned enterprise.
Wow.
So what we show is that, countries that want to mitigate corruption, all what they do, they need to subject all firms to a very tight disclosure standard, and they need to subject their financial statements to a rigorous audit.
Well, so you've done a lot of work in that field, and it just sort of brings us full circle and your students get the benefit of that, not only of your extensive research, but your keen interest in making sure that your teaching is valuable to them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I believe in that research excellence in research and excellence in teaching, they go hand in hand.
Absolutely, yeah.
So what I do, I know my students when they see my course outline, so my God, I think this is a PhD seminar. In fact, it's not.
Yeah.
So my course outline include academic papers, but what I ask my student is to take them as a starting point. Let's assume that the findings of that paper are valid. How can we use that empirical findings to improve business practice?
No.
And so what my student, after they summarize the academic paper, they go to the business press and find examples that go with or go against that academic finding. With regard to my research, also I do. I believe that timeliness is a major problem now. Accounting information on financial reporting is a little late, so that's why I did some work on web disclosure of financial accounting information and of corporate governance information. And too recently, the Security Exchange Commission required from all listed company to file using XBRL. And we have a paper that look at the benefit of XBRL. And we do find that company that voluntarily adopted extensible business reporting language, they enjoy a better trading volume. So basically, investor, they hold on at the earnings announcement. And when more precision come with this electronic filing, then they trade, they fully trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's great, and thank you so much for coming by, and a well-deserved award for your teaching. Congratulations on that, and thank you for stopping by and telling us about it. Yeah.
You know, in what I plan to do in the future, we were very lucky to have Professor James Olson, a world-class professor in accounting, to visit us, to visit Brock, and he gave a keynote address where he advocate for common sense accounting research. It's a research that helps us understand how the real world work. So in the future, I'll be looking at, for example, why CEO that we hire to invest in project, they don't do it. They use the money to buy back the company own shares. I also, I'm doing an experiment with a professor from Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, on the accounting for complex financial instrument. And then I'm a little curious to know how the external shock, for example, zero lower bound policy, impact micro decision. And there are other mechanisms that help discipline the company, like media coverage, like lawyer. We don't know the role of these other stakeholders in financial reporting.
Wow. Well, listen, we might have to have you come back sometime and talk a little more about your research, because I know you've got a lot on the go there, but we've run out of time here for now. Thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you so much, Susan.
And congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and thank you for stopping by and listening to us, and hopefully we'll chat soon.